At the beginning of the yagya, 8 pots are filled with soil and sprinkled with seeds. The seeds are watered 3 times a day. Early each morning we perform palaka puja to the sprouting seeds. The sprouting of the seeds is thought to mystically represent the success of the yagya. In Vedic cosmology, there are 8 major directions, each governed by a different deity. Each of the pots in palaka puja represents a different direction. Puja is performed to all these directions. In the east is Indra, in the southeast is Agni, in the south is Yama, in the southwest Nariti, in the west Varuna, in the northwest is Vayu, in the north is Kubera, in the northeast Ishanyam. These 8 directions are worshipped throughout the yagya in many different ceremonies. During the yagya, puja is performed on the gold-plated copper cupolas over the temple and other buildings. They serve as both lightning rods and as superconductors for cosmic energy. During this yagya, several murtis or statues are installed. The murtis being installed are of Vedavyasa, Ganapati, and Subramanya, who is the brother of Ganapati. Here, Raghu and Pallavi are taking part in a 2-day ceremony that culminates in the installation of the murtis. This ceremony has special significance. Shortly after death, it is thought that one meets the Chitragupta. The Chitragupta is a sort of divine accountant. Throughout one's life, he is secretly taking a video of our thoughts, speech, and actions. He accounts for both the good and the bad we do. Upon our death, the Chitragupta gives an accounting of our life to the judge, Yama. Depending on whether one's acts have been good or bad, it is Yama's job to send us on to the appropriate destination. It is believed that undertaking this ceremony to install murtis wipes one's slate clean of bad actions. No matter how wicked one's acts are in this lifetime, one goes straight to heaven. Thus, installation of murtis is one of the most meritorious acts one can undertake. Notice the man hammering a small square compartment next to the murti of Ganapati as the installation of the murtis of Vedavyasa and Ganapati begins. In this compartment, seeds, rice, 5 precious metals, 9 precious gems, mercury, a yantra, and other precious objects will be lovingly placed. After they are placed there, they will be covered by cement and the murti of Ganapati slid over them. This compartment is thought to be the source of the Shakti or energy of the murti of Ganapati that it will radiate for years to come. The murtis are more than just artistic renderings of saints, gods, and goddesses. With the proper performance of these ceremonies, it is believed that the Shakti or energy of the saint or deity enters the murti and dwells there. For the Shakti to be maintained, the murti must be properly cared for. The Saint Vedavyasa was one of the greatest benefactors of mankind, an embodiment of compassion. He produced such wonderful works as the Mahabharata and the Srimad Bhagavatam to aid people in the current Kali Yuga, or Dark Age. The murtis shown here of Ganesh, the elephant-headed god, and Vedavyasa are part of a story of when Vedavyasa composed the Mahabharata. The Mahabharata is very long, about 5 times longer than Homer's Odyssey and Iliad combined. Vedavyasa needed a scribe to dictate it to. Ganapati himself agreed to be a scribe on a condition that the dictation should be continuous and without break. So here we have a murti showing Vedavyasa dictating while Ganapati writes. After the murtis are moved, various hymns are chanted while the coconuts are broken in front of the murti. The coconut milk is thrown onto the murti, an auspicious act. Note that at this point, the eyes of the murtis are still covered over, as they are not yet fully awakened. Giving life to the murtis is considered much like a human birth. It has to happen in stages. Later, the covering over the eyes is removed when the murtis are fully brought to life. Later in the morning, a murti for Subramanya is installed near the Ganesh rock. Subramanya, like Ganesh, is the son of Shiva and Parvati, the divine father and mother. Subramanya is considered to be the commander-in-chief of all the divine forces. He is worshipped for progeny, and the installation is part of the Putra Kameshti ceremonies. His symbol is two intertwined serpents. While this ceremony is going on, some of the Vedic students see a rare cobra in the garden. Since the cobra is considered the king of serpents, and Subramanya's symbol is a serpent, this is considered auspicious. As a final part of the installation ceremony, a huge mound of rice, sprinkled with turmeric and kumkum, along with several large melons, is offered. The Vedic science recognizes that not only are there gods and goddesses that exist in the universe, but many other beings floating on what we might call the local astral plane. The rice and melons are offered to these other beings, such as ghosts and goblins, so that they will be satisfied and not disrupt the yagna. Another event that takes place each evening is the Kalyanam, or marriage ceremony. This is the symbolic marriage of a deity and his wife or wives. The first night of the yagna, Ganesh is married to his two wives, Siddhi and Buddhi. On other nights, other deities are married, Shiva to Parvati, Vishnu to Lakshmi, and so forth. The male deity is sometimes thought of as the unmanifest, silent, absolute aspect of God. The wife is thought of as God Shakti, or power, the manifest aspect of God. When the two are brought together, the wholeness of God is complete. Thus, when Ganesh is married to his two wives, Siddhi and Buddhi, the unmanifest is married to Siddhi, which means power, and Buddhi, which means intelligence or intellect. We now jump to the last day of the yagna. We are pouring the kumbhas, or water pots, over the murti of Shirdi Sai Baba, while Rudra, Namakam, and Chamakam and other Vedic hymns are being recited. This is the final Abhishekam to Shirdi Sai Baba. After 17 days of very hard work, the 18th day is in many ways the most joyous. We perform our final duties with the knowledge that we are successfully completing 18 days of service to our fellow human beings. In the morning, the homam is conducted, ending with a grand Purnahoti at 12 noon in the main fire pit. During Purnahoti, the fire spontaneously rises up without the addition of any fuel, indicating divine approval of our actions. We are now pouring the kumbhas over Baba. This is the final part of our prayers for universal peace and for timely rain in India and the world.